Hello and welcome to this edition of Biz4Teens. Today we have Jordan Schwartz with us. Jordan is the founder of Children's Bilingual Theater, and we're going to get to her business in just a minute, but first I wanted to talk quickly about what a small world that we live in. The internet has really made our world much smaller, and there's a good chance that if you've developed a website or created a blog, that people from other countries are visiting that website. And there's also a good chance that you go and visit websites that are in other countries. And you may not even realize it because a lot of websites are developed in English. However, there's a real need to learn foreign languages. And one thing that we learned through our research is that the four most common languages in the world, the first one is Chinese Mandarin, the second one is Spanish, the third one is English, and the fourth one is Hindi, which is in India. And as more people become part of this global society that we live in, they're starting to realize that there's a real need to learn a foreign language, even just a little bit. And traditionally, people have gone to schools or taught themselves foreign languages. But Jordan Schwartz saw that there was a market for people interested in learning foreign languages, and she developed a children's bilingual theater to help do that. I want to welcome Jordan Schwartz to the show today. Jordan,
thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I do also want to mention Jordan is a junior high student in Cobb County, Georgia. Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you see this need that was out there?
Well, there was a woman at the airport on our way back from spring break. She didn't speak English and she had lost all her travel papers on her last flight. But they were going to have to wait over an hour for a translator to come. But my mom overheard, so she was able to go and help the lady and get her on her way. If it wasn't for my mom, she would have been there for hours more. So I realized it's really important to have a second language because we have a greatly growing Hispanic society. In Georgia, so Spanish is kind of important to me because of my mom, but it's important just to be bilingual in general because I think it can provide much greater, employment and educational opportunities.
Yep. And it just helps people to get along a little bit better if they can communicate a little bit.
Right.
And so you created this children's bilingual theater.
Yes.
And what that is, tell us about it. It's a play?
Well, actually, it's a theater company. What we do is we go around and we find venues and we ask for donations by dropping off brochures and having meetings and everything to do our shows in after we find a show that we want to do. And our last show was El Canto del Roble, The Song of the Oak. It's by Roy Convoy. And this project fundraising is going to be a lot easier because instead of just dropping off a brochure or a flyer and no references, people go, oh, I'm probably just going to end up giving money to this kid for some dumb idea, and it's probably not going to happen.
Yep.
But if I have newspaper articles to show them that it has happened in the past, then they'll be more likely to donate because it'll A, show them that the project is legitimate, and B, that their money won't go to waste, that it actually will happen.
Yeah. Jordan's last play did become a reality. She had the idea, she shared that idea with other people, and she did create the Children's Bilingual Theater, and they had a play last year. When we come back, we're going to talk to Jordan a little bit more about how she made that a reality, and we're going to talk about the questions that people asked and how she dealt with the rejection initially with her play. So you stick around and come back and hear more about Jordan's interesting story creating the Children's Bilingual Theater.
Get your business started right. The Bare Bones Biz Quick Start offers a simple strategy for creating your business plan and using it to build a winning business. You'll make entries in 8 areas that are critical for business success. You'll gain experience in business. You can use it to update your plans and activities. Only $19.95. Call 800-511-6844 or go to the resources section of this website.
Hello and welcome back to Biz4Teens TV. I am with Jordan Schwartz, the creator of Children's Bilingual Theater. And so far we've been talking about how Jordan saw a market and a need for people learning second languages. and therefore she created the Children's Bilingual Theater. Now what we want to talk about is how she made this need that she saw, how she turned it into a business and made it a reality. And I know that one thing that you had to do was to approach businesses because you had to raise money.
Yes.
Tell me about that. How did you approach the businesses, and what were some of their concerns?
Well, generally what I do is I come up with a little speech. It's not a long speech, just a short little speech. I use the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and why.
Okay.
And the who would be your name, the what would be the project, the why is why you want to do it, the when is when are you going to do it, and the where is where are you going to do it.
Okay. That sounds very interesting. I'm sure it was kind of tough at first to practice doing this. So did you practice with your parents and other people?
Well, I've done theater before, so
Okay.
I would basically memorize it the way I memorized my lines for a show.
Well, why don't we do a little role play? Let's
Okay.
pretend that I'm a business manager at a local business,
All
and you're
right.
coming to meet me. You've already talked to the person at the front of the office,
The receptionist?
the receptionist, and they've introduced us to each other.
Yes.
So let's start pretending. Hi, I'm Christian.
Hi, I'm Jordan Schwartz. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm with the Children's Bilingual Theater,
Okay.
and we're hoping to put on a show next spring, The Magical Piñata by Karen Zacharias. It's going to be at the Art Place in Marietta, and I was just going to leave some information with you.
Okay.
It's a brochure and a packet from articles from past shows. And I was just wondering if your business would be interested in donating or supporting the project.
Okay. I don't think that we're interested, Jordan.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you for your time.
That may have thrown some of y'all off because most people do support Jordan and her project. To be a sponsor is not that expensive. But I wanted to show you the reality that sometimes people do say no.
Yes.
And when we come back, Jordan's going to talk about how to handle that rejection and how she turned that rejection into a learning experience. Jordan, thank you very much, and we'll see you in just a second.
Get your business started right. The Bare Bones Biz Quick Start offers a simple strategy for creating your business plan and using it to build a winning business. You'll make entries in 8 areas that are critical for business success. You'll gain experience in business. You can use it to update your plans and activities. Only $19.95. Call 800-511-6844 or go to the resources section of this website.
Hello and welcome back for Biz4Teens. In our last segment, I was talking to Jordan and we were doing some role play, and she asked me to help her with her project, and I said no. Now, most people are going to say yes, but there are going to be few people that say no. And so dealing with rejection is something that Jordan's had to learn to deal with, and you either have had to learn to deal with it yourself or you will face rejection as your business grows. So Jordan, tell us a little bit about how you face rejection.
Well, the main thing is, if it's a business that I'm really hoping to get support from, it always helps to talk to my mom about it because she's always the one that takes me to the different businesses.
Okay. So she's close by, and when you
Yes.
finish your business meeting, she's probably the first person that you see.
Yes, and that's very important for safety reasons.
Okay, exactly. And when people do reject your ideas, do you take that personally, or do you just kind of try to shrug it off?
I just shrug it off because I just tell myself that they were probably just being close-minded and not thinking that this could help their business by involving themselves in something community service oriented.
Uh-huh.
And that they weren't rejecting me, they were rejecting my project.
And sometimes someone may tell you, well, great, thanks for the information, and we'll call you if we're interested. Do you wait for their phone call, or do you call them a few days later?
Generally, if I just go and talk to them and leave some information, unless I get to have an actual meeting with the business manager and leave the information with them personally,
Uh-huh.
generally I wait a few days and then I call back to make sure that they got the information and see if they're interested.
Because people can be really busy, and they might forget about it, and you're there to remind them.
Right, because that's happened to me a few times that they say, oh, we'll call you in a couple of days. It's next week already, and they haven't called back.
So you get on the phone
Right.
and you put on your sales hat and you call them and follow up with them.
Yes, sir.
And you were quite successful doing that. You raised almost, what, close to $3,000 for your last production?
Close to $3,000, but fortunately, I was able to raise a lot of the materials. And there's this one man, he was very nice. He called my mother up one day because he got the information from a friend. And he said, I can't help you with ... You thought that he was going to say, I can't help you with this at all, I'm sorry. He said, I can't help you with 2 gallons of black paint and some plywood, but the rest I can supply from my company.
Oh, that's great.
So that's great because that cut back on our financial fundraising because we were able to get most of our set materials donated.
So you were asking not only for money, but also for the materials and time and things like that. Okay,
Yes, sir.
very good. And people can learn more about your group on the internet. Is that correct?
www.childrensbilingualtheater.org.
Okay, and you can find that on this website also for more information. Jordan, do you see a future with this business?
Most definitely, because I don't only do plays, I generally do the Park Street Readathon, which is an elementary school in Marietta.
Okay.
Generally, I get some of my friends from the school drama club. We dress up in costumes to match our books, and we go and read them to the kids on the day of the readathon.
Okay.
And we also do International Art Days.
So you're out there talking about the business and getting it in front of people. What are some advice that you would give to other people that are interested in starting a small theater or starting a small business?
Well, if you have an idea, don't just go, oh, it's a silly idea. Tell your parents, tell your friends, tell anyone you can think of that might be interested in helping. And just, if you're worried about it, just tell yourself the worst they can say is, no, I'm sorry, but that's not the best idea for our business.
Yeah.
That's the worst they can say.
Well, Jordan, you've done a great job about telling people about your business.
Thank
Not
you.
only does Jordan tell people about her business by calling them on the phone and visiting them, but she also has a website. She also created some marketing pieces for herself, and she's also been in dozens of newspaper articles. So Jordan, we thank you for coming here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. If you'd like more information on this program, please visit the website where you can find links to businesses about different languages as well as Jordan's business. And we appreciate you coming here and joining us. Please send your emails with your suggestions or with your story ideas. Thank you very much.